I was encouraged to go to classes that really focused on domestic skills. You know, I couldn't go to the woodworking class. Not allowed, that was boys only. But my mom and my grandmother said, you can go as far as you want. You can be whoever you want to be. I watched Perry Mason religiously on TV, who got to confront, murderers who then admitted what crimes they had committed and saved Perry's clients. And I thought, that looks like a fun job to do. Took the criminal law class. I said, nope, I'm not going to be a criminal lawyer. I'm not cut out for that. So that's when I decided to go into some type of civil practice. And at some point in college, I switched all my majors to sociology and political science, and the rest is history. When I was pregnant and I worked for an insurance company, they told me that I had to quit my job because you weren't able to work if you were pregnant past 5 months. And I said, what do you mean I can't work? I'm 22 years old, healthy as a horse. We ended up going to the EEOC and filing a lawsuit against the company. They backed off and they said, okay, you can work until you're ready to have your baby. Now, all the men that had heart attacks, broken legs, etc., were all told their jobs were stable, but not me. So during the time I was off with my baby, I was like, am I going to be able to have my job back? The U.S. Supreme Court came out with a decision that said pregnancy is not covered under Title VII. So Congress amended Title VII to cover pregnancies by passing the Pregnancy Discrimination Act. That got me interested in civil litigation. In undergraduate school, I did volunteer work for the Rape Crisis Center, dealing with women who had been abused by their spouses. And I remember one of my first calls involved a woman who had been hit repeatedly by her husband with a hot iron. It was so awful. She had no options, nowhere to stay, nowhere to go. We formed a group called Advocates for Battered Women, and eventually we had a house, and that became the first shelter for women who were abused. So we got some funding, and eventually we were able to apply for some grants, and eventually it became Women and Children First. I'm so proud that I was involved as sort of one of the people who got it off the ground. When we first started, we had to figure out that we all wanted to have a life with our families, so we just evolved into that, putting family first. When we hire somebody, we want them to know that we expect them to do volunteer work for the legal services, belong to an organization and help that organization thrive. We expect them to take good care of their family and be good parents. Those are all important components of making our community livable and fun to be a member of. Our firm has won a lot of awards in that work-life balance area. I was really influenced by a couple of my professors in undergraduate school about the importance of making changes not just on the outside, as I did with my lawsuit, but on the inside. And how important it is that you recognize that often change comes from within. So if I wanted to see the Bar Association be more female-friendly, that meant I had to get involved. And as a result of that, I became involved with the National Conference of Bar Presidents. And all the while I was still involved with the American Bar in the House of Delegates. So I was the first female to serve in the American Bar House of Delegates from Arkansas. It was critically important to me that I not be the last. I felt like I could encourage other women to take these opportunities. I'm one of those people that believes if you balance it right, you can do it all. And it's okay to ask for help. You've got to have people to stand behind you.